You need to take better care of yourself. You need to have more of a self-care lifestyle. Hey friends, it's Ollie. Welcome back to my channel. So if you don't know me, again, my name is Ollie. I'm a lifestyle creator, and here we hyper-focus on self-care. So as you can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about a term that I coined called the self-care lifestyle. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any follow-up videos. And returners, y'all know the drill. Get your snack, get your drink, and let's get into the video. All right, friends, so today we're going to be talking about how to build a self-care lifestyle. So of course, let's start by defining what that means and what it actually looks like in practical terms. So I posted this photo carousel on my TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, what are you doing? So you guys really like that photo carousel, so I figured let's make a video to expand on that and dive into each topic that I discussed. So starting with what a self-care lifestyle is. Essentially, a self-care lifestyle is a way of living that prioritizes your needs and exemplifies self-care. So in practical terms, someone that lives a self-care lifestyle is someone that routinely puts themselves first and someone that has a balanced view of what's important in their life. This is someone who can equally weigh their current needs with their future goals and can ensure that each of their actions are in alignment with both of those. So let's break it down into parts. What are the parts or the components of a self-care lifestyle? And frankly, this is going to look a little bit different for everyone. So the components of my self-care lifestyle may not be what's important to you. You have to determine that for yourself. So for me, the top 5 components of having a self-care lifestyle is daily gratitude, daily movement, intuitive eating, weekly self-care days, and then having an annual self-care retreat. So before we get into each of those components that I just listed, I know you might be thinking, well, Ollie, how do I determine what the components of my self-care lifestyle are? So as you guys know, I never talk about something that I didn't either go through or I'm going through. So a little bit of a story time of how I got to this place of living a self-care lifestyle. So let's take it back maybe 3 years back into 2021. So back in 2021, I was still making my content, of course. I wasn't seeing many returns on my content, and frankly, I was starting to feel very defeated and thinking about giving up and pivoting to something else. And in general, 2021 was just a bit of a hard year for me. I had a few friendships that ended, and I also entered in a really rocky relationship, like an on again, off again type of relationship. So in general, I just wasn't in a very good headspace. Like my eating habits started to decline. I was binge drinking a lot because I was always in a bad mood and generally just in a bad headspace. And then there was this particular situation, which I'm not really going to detail for you guys because it's really personal, but it was with a couple people that I was friends with and people that I loved, and it was just really like stressful and honestly a bit traumatizing. And I don't know what it was about that situation that made me look in the mirror and say, we need to start putting ourselves first more. I think it's because in that situation, I had let something that was going on in somebody else's life basically stop my whole day. Like I had let something that wasn't even going on with me, it was just with people that I loved, control my entire day, my entire week. Like I was completely out of whack when nothing actually had happened to me. I was home, I was safe, I was completely fine. I was just so stressed about things that were going on to other people. And that situation made me realize that I'm like, you need to take better care of yourself. You need to take better care of your mental health. You need to have better boundaries. You need to have more of a self-care lifestyle. That's literally what I thought to myself. I'm like, we need to start living a lifestyle centered around self-care because we cannot allow the actions and the happenings about everything around us to constantly infiltrate how we feel inside. So this is actually when I discovered focus modes on my iPhone, and I started really using my focus modes in a routine manner to have better hygiene and better relationship with my phone. This is when I started going to Target and buying aesthetic kitchenware. Like I would go and peruse the sales section at Target all the time. Because if you don't know this, you can might happen upon a set at Target that's like 10 bucks. It's crazy. So I would go and if I see a cute cup, I would pick it up. If I saw a cute plate, I would pick it up. $3, $4, it wasn't that expensive. But the thing was, having this cute aesthetic kitchenware made me want to make pretty meals that I could take a photo of. Hence, I started to eat healthier because when you buy takeout and put it in a plate, it's not too pretty. When you make your own food and it's healthy and you put it in a plate, it's really pretty and you want to take a photo of it and you want to show it off. I started doing more things by myself. This was the moment that I realized that I'm like, life is gonna pass you by while you're waiting around for a better partner, while you're waiting around to make new friends, because I just had lost my whole friend group. Like, I can't just sit around in my house and rot. Like, I have to go outside and enjoy my life. And while doing these little things just to make myself feel better in the moment, over time I realized that the combination of all these things was making me just overall have an elevated, more, abundant, happy mindset that I wasn't having before. And that's when I really sat down and said, all right, how are we going to build a full lifestyle around self-care? So after that situation and basically that whole revelation that I had with myself, that's when I sat down and determined what are the things that I need to integrate into my life on a regular basis in order to live a self-care lifestyle. So starting with component number 1, daily gratitude. I actually learned this from a Big Mouth episode. I don't know if you guys watch Big Mouth. It's like this really stupid cartoon on Netflix, but it's about kids going through puberty and just all the happenings of your body when you're like 9 to like 14 years old. It's actually really vulgar, so I don't think it's actually for kids, but it's about kids geared towards adults. But anyways, I bring that up because there was an episode of Big Mouth that I was watching that Jess was dealing with depression. And I remember crying during this episode, and I'm like, why are you crying at a cartoon, girl? But because I resonated with it. I really resonated with her dealing with her depressive episode. And it was this big, furry, like purple cat that would come around Jess, and she would hug her and she would keep her in bed and say, oh, like, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to go anywhere, you don't need anybody, you just need me and you. And it was so emotional for me because I'm like, that's literally how depression feels. It's like this weird cloak of darkness that's like, I'm going to keep you and keep you safe, when in reality, that's making you feel worse. And the thing that counteracted Jess's depression in the show was showing gratitude. It was this little like chipper, I think it was like a squirrel or something stupid. This is such a dumb analogy. It was like some kind of really chipper animal, and he was like, whenever I feel down, I just express what I'm grateful for. Or I do something that makes me feel grateful. So it's like volunteering, talking about her friends that she loved and stuff. All of a sudden, it was like every time she expressed gratitude, it was like a dart thrown at the purple cat. Like every single time that she showed gratitude, the cat would almost like get smaller and smaller and smaller. And it was saying how gratitude is the opposite of depression. When you're depressed, you're thinking about all the things that are wrong and all the things you're upset about. Whereas with gratitude, you're fighting back. So that's why I decided, okay, number 1 has to be daily gratitude. We have to wake up every single day and talk about something that we're grateful for. So over time, we can reprogram our mind to see the happy things in life rather than always seeing the negative things. So the way that I do this in a practical term, I have a journal that I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I'm also coming out with my own journal, so stay tuned for that, y'all. And having something that you write down, whether you just say it in the mirror or you write it down on a piece of paper, maybe you have a note in your phone that is just a list of things you're grateful for. Find a way to express gratitude on a regular basis. And it doesn't need to be this grandiose thing. Like even today I wrote what I'm grateful for, and I literally wrote my lash check because one of my lashes are trying to fall off on the side, and she's always like right there, like, I got you if you need to come in, like fix it. I also wrote, I'm grateful for Topical's eye mask because I woke up with my eyes being puffy. So I use an eye mask and now I feel better. So it doesn't have to be crazy shit. Like it can really be really mundane things. I'm grateful for my cat. She's over there sleeping on my bed. It can be whatever in this life you're grateful for. Sometimes I say I'm grateful for the sunrise. I'm grateful for a pretty day with minimal clouds, I'm grateful for my sisters. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my ottoman that holds all my makeup stuff. Like, whatever in your life that is making your life better, show gratitude for it. And as you do that on a daily basis, you're going to see your mood improve, you're going to see your mindset change. And even when you are having a depressive episode, showing gratitude is like, you got a fighter in your corner now. You can fight back against that bitch and tell her, hey, like, we're not being depressed today because we have all these things to be happy about. So the number 2 thing in terms of building a self-care lifestyle for me was daily movement. I grew up as an athlete kid. My parents always had me in either a basketball camp or doing beach volleyball or something. Like I was always an active kid. When I was in high school, I was playing 3 sports. I played volleyball in the fall, basketball in the winter, track and field in the spring. Like round the clock I was training. And when I got to college is the moment that I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with sports. I'm done. That's when I pivoted into personal training. So it's hilarious because daily movement and wellness is something that has been so ingrained in my life that even when I wasn't playing a sport, I kept finding myself going back to that. And when I was like, all right, I need to build this self-care lifestyle, I realized daily movement, it's the number is probably bigger than gratitude, but I'm gonna say number 2 because I think gratitude should be better. But daily movement was a really big thing for me. And when I got into a bad headspace, that's the first thing that goes. And I don't know why, but daily movement and intuitive eating are always the first thing to go when you're in a bad headspace. So having it as like a mantra, as a pillar in your life, it keeps you grounded. I find that even on my worst days, getting up and going to the gym, some days I go to the gym and I walk on incline for 20 minutes and I leave. And I know like the gym bros are looking at me like, why is this bitch paying for a membership if all she does is walk? But it's like, it's your life to live. Who cares what they think? I pay for my gym membership and I do whatever the hell I want. The only thing is that I go and I work out 30 minutes a day minimum. The only day that I don't go to the gym is on Sundays. And even then, usually on Sundays, I walk around Brooklyn. I might go to a park. I might go to brunch. So I'm basically still moving my body every single day. And the thing with daily movement is it releases endorphins. It literally counteracts the depression by releasing endorphins, making you feel better, making you feel that kind of runner's high. So when you're working out on a regular basis, you're gonna see your mood improve, even if you're not working out for weight loss. Even if you don't have a set goal and you're just going to the gym and breaking a sweat, you're going to feel that difference over time and honestly immediately. I always leave the gym in a good mood. And think about it this way, you are never going to regret moving your body. You are never going to go and work out and leave the gym and be like, damn, I really wish I didn't do that. Have you ever moved your body and thought to yourself, wow, I really wish I spent that 30 minutes on the couch and not in the gym? Never. You never feel that way. So it's always good. And for me, it's a big pillar. I would honestly recommend everybody to include daily movement in their self-care lifestyle because it's just that important. The next component is around intuitive eating. And I say intuitive eating and not dieting because I want this to be a sustainable thing that I keep up for the rest of my life. I don't want to have to focus on my weight my whole life. And I know that right now I am trying to lose weight. That's more for health concerns. I want to eat healthy. I look at the way I eat as the way I fuel my body. And think of it this way. A car cannot run without the proper fuel. So whether that car is, hybrid, whether it's diesel, whether it needs premium, whether it's fully electric, a car needs to be fueled up and needs to be gassed up in order to run. So if you're not properly fueling your body and gassing up your body, you're not gonna function well and you're gonna see the difference. For me, healthy intuitive eating is more than just like pretty salads and things like that. It's really about eating meals that I find good, meals that I look forward to eating that also are doing what they need to for my body. So let me give you a few examples. I wanna go out and I wanna get a burger and fries. I know that when I eat beef, it gives me the runs. I know that when I eat cheese, it gives me the runs. So when I go to choose like what I'm eating, rather than choosing like a beef burger with cheesy fries, I'm gonna choose a chicken burger, maybe some truffle fries or some plain fries, because I'm choosing what's going to fuel me the best. And even when you're eating unhealthy, choosing what's gonna fuel you the best. Looking at food this way has actually changed so much for me. I feel like it's helped my skin clear up. I've dealt with less gut issues. And also, it's more that I don't have to feel like I need to be in a safe space to eat certain foods. Like, I wouldn't eat like pasta or things like that unless I knew I could be home for the next 2 days. Whereas now I'm just like, I'm just not gonna choose to eat that. Even when I feel like eating out, I'm not gonna choose to eat something that I know I'm gonna suffer from 2 days later. On a regular basis, if I'm eating a salad, like, I'm not gonna go and get this plain like balsamic vinegar salad. No shade, girls. No shade. I'm not trying to hate. I just hate balsamic vinegar. And I know it's like a healthy vinaigrette. I just think it's disgusting. Every single time I go to make salads and I would see healthy salads, I wouldn't want to eat them because the components were gross. And then I realized that I'm like, it's not about eating the lowest calorie meal. It's about eating something that you enjoy that's actually fueling your body. And I can even take that to the opposite example. I love to get love kava bowls. And usually when I used to get a kava bowl, I would get like rice, salad. I would get like 3 different dips. I would get the harissa honey chicken. And what would happen? My stomach would turn. After like an hour or 2, I would be like just in the bathroom for days. And I had to tell myself like, hey, as good as this tastes, your body hates when you eat this. So what's more important, eating something that tastes good or eating something that's gonna fuel you correctly? So looking at everything you eat with those two sides of it, of is this going to fuel me correctly? Is this going to negatively affect future Ollie? Is the way I look at every meal now. And now it's easier to eat healthy. So just making those choices that you know are healthy choices, but hey, I actually really enjoy this meal. This component or that component doesn't agree with me, so I'm going to take it out. Whenever I look at what I'm eating in that lens, it helps me to stay happy. I don't feel like I'm dieting and I'm restricting myself, because that's one thing that I really don't want to endure anymore. I'm too damn old to be dealing with that. I'm at a point in my life that I just want to eat food that makes me feel good, that makes me happy, that doesn't mess with my stomach. So now let's get into the fourth component, which is probably my favorite component, which are self-care days, weekly self-care days. For me, this is usually my Sundays. My Sundays are designated raw days. And what I mean by that is essentially on a Sunday, I don't force myself to do anything I don't feel like doing. So if I feel like filming, I'll film. But if I don't feel like filming, I don't. You know, if I feel like talking on the phone, I do. If I don't feel like talking on the phone, I don't. It's like every single Sunday, it's my way or the highway. If I don't feel like even opening the curtains, I won't open the curtains. If I don't feel like leaving bed, I don't leave bed. And giving myself this one day that's truly centered on what it is I want to do and how I want to reset has actually improved my immune system. I think because I'm giving myself one day a week to rest in a mandated sense, like, hey, you're not making plans on a Sunday. I don't care. It's the Lord's day. Sundays are for you, Ollie. I know I'm not going out with you late on Saturday because I don't want to be hungover on my raw day. You know, I'm not spending the night with you because I want to wake up in my own bed. Like, Sundays are for me. If I want to do a facial, if I want to drink a whole bottle of wine, whatever I want to do, Sunday is my oyster. And I feel like having Sundays as my weekly self-care days, one, it makes me go into the week with less of the Monday scaries because I'm just really nurturing myself every Sunday. But two, it gives me a day to look forward to. I know I get to a point usually around Wednesday or Thursday that I started to feel really like mind boggled, overwhelmed. You know, I'm getting 3 work calls, my friends FaceTiming me, my dad's like, hey, you haven't picked up my call, you know, I'm overwhelmed. And then just knowing, okay, by Sunday, it's peace. It's nothing but whatever you want to do. So choosing that day for yourself, however that's gonna look like, maybe you have a busy schedule and you can't do a whole day, but hey, every Monday night, putting those earbuds on, my noise canceling headphones, I'm gonna dance around the room, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Having that section of your week that's designated for yourself to do whatever the fuck you wanna do is gonna make you so much happier. It's also gonna help you integrate self-care as a weekly practice, not just on a daily basis, but like, hey, every single week you're gonna check in with yourself. What have I done for myself this week? Ask yourself that every single week. What have I done for myself? What nice thing have I done for myself? When's the last time I bought myself flowers? When's the last time I took a bubble bath? When's the last time I slept in? And if you haven't done any of those things within the week, Sunday's your day and you're gonna do it that day. And the last one is a component for me. Again, this might not be a part of your self-care lifestyle, but this is really big for me. It's having an annual self-care retreat, AKA having an annual solo trip. So I implemented this 2 years ago. So this will be my 3rd year going on a solo trip. I already have it booked. Not gonna tell you guys when it is or where it is because I'm Nigerian, I'm very superstitious. Essentially, having a solo trip every single year has been so pivotal for my mental health. Having this annual self-care retreat, especially by myself, is so important because one, it gives me something to look forward to. It inspires me for life. Like, it reignites that fire that I have and my passions and the things that I care about. But also, it's so much fun to travel by yourself. Like, I don't think people realize how much fun it is to travel by yourself. Don't get me wrong, I love a girls trip. Okay, I love a girls trip. I've already had one this year. I have a couple others planned this year. But like, something about traveling by yourself and not feeling obligated to do anything on that vacation is so rejuvenating. I love to travel out of the country. I usually go to an all-inclusive so I don't feel obligated to have to leave the hotel. Also, because a lot of all-inclusives will have excursions that will pick you up from the lobby. So it's nice because I don't have to go into the vacation with like this built schedule. I just have to bring money with me, and then I go to the concierge desk and I say, all right, on Tuesday I'm gonna do this, and on Thursday I'm gonna do that. And that'll literally be it. Sorry, I thought I was getting a notification. I literally will not do anything on those vacations. I will get dressed up. I will take content of the hotel maybe. I will take content of myself maybe getting ready. And that's about it. That's about it. Like, I do not require anything out of myself. So when I go on those self-care retreats, it's usually like 4 to 5 days, and I take time off work. Like, I usually like put my PTO in 2-3 months ahead while I'm planning these trips. And it's just so important for me. I think I always come back from those trips feeling so inspired, feeling like this renewed zest for life. Like, and I just feel like it makes me look at life with like a happy lens, you know? Like, at a certain point in my life, I'm gonna be a wife, I'm gonna be a mother. I'm not gonna get to just pick up and go across the country or across the globe for 3 days by myself. And it just makes me even more grateful for the life I have. So it starts to become, you see it? It starts to become like this domino effect, this like pinwheel turning of expressing gratitude, but also doing things for yourself that you're super grateful for. And for me, the annual self-care retreat is really the thing that every year I think myself, like, yes, that was expensive, but thank you for putting the money away. Thank you for putting the time in. Thank you for putting the effort in to take care of you, me to me. So if you've gotten to this point of the video, I hope you have a good baseline of how you're going to build your own self-care lifestyle. And let me know in the comment section below what habits you're gonna be dropping off, you know, what new systems you're putting in place. Let's all do this together, and feel free to peruse the comment section for any good tips, because I certainly am gonna be looking at y'all to give me some new ideas. Lastly, thank you guys so much for the love on my last video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it some love as well. As always, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads, and I will see you guys in the next one.